Hi guys, this is Melissa for Pep Talk UK. Please remember to do all the good stuff, comment, like, share and subscribe. I'm joined here today by none other than James Cook, MBE, the man. James, how are you doing?
Not too bad.
Good, good to hear. We're at the Pedro Youth Club. James has very kindly invited us down. It is a wonderful area for the community, and we'll talk more about it throughout the interview. But first and foremost, James, what are you up to these days? You mentioned you're writing a book.
First of all and foremost, let me tell you why this interview is happening. I don't know where we was the other night. Was it the Hilton or the Mayfair?
It was the Hilton.
It was the Hilton, and we went to see, Prince Nassim Amin was there, and obviously a lot of people want to see the Prince, But as fighters, we just go in to, see the Prince. So while we see him, I was speaking to him about when I boxed by my Graham, he was walking around the ringside as a 12-year-old. Did he set that up for me to get beat? So we were speaking. So as I turned around, this young lady on my right said to me, I was queuing up to see him. I says, I didn't know it was a boxer thing, So she said, who are you then? And I thought, damn, she told me what's her name. She boxed for Islington. I'm up the road. And she's queuing up to see Prince. So usually this interview would have been 3 months, but it's now in a week.
You see, you just go for what you want and you end up being able to interview people like James Cook. You can't write that stuff. Well, thank you for sharing that great story. That puts me in such a great light. So anyway, back to you. What are you up to these days? You mentioned you're writing a book.
Yeah, the book is almost finished. It's called Guardian of the Street by Melanie Lloyd. She done a couple of books herself. It's about, as you said, my lifestyle since I retired. What I was doing actually before I retired from Jamaica to come to London. So I tell you all about when I come to the cold country. Still working in the youth club here at Pedro, trying to keep it going for the young people on the street. Obviously, I know they need somewhere to go, so that's part of it. And 2 days a week, I'm in Croydon now Junction in our college for, I gotta say, bad behavior youth, or youth who wanna be wrong way of life, put it this way, trying to teach them the right way through boxing, through the discipline, the respect, and the attitude through the sport of boxing.
Yeah.
And if not, just going around with 4 or 5 daughters, I think, just beating up boyfriend, trying to get me, trying to be safe. Yeah, it's all good.
Lucky boyfriends, eh? So in 2007, you received an MBE.
Yeah.
It was for your outstanding work with the young people of Hackney's Murder Mile, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, that's immensely inspiring. What was your motivations for doing that?
No, you know what, Melissa, I've always worked with young people. When I was a youth in Peckham, I went to Campbell Green. My trainer used to work for Daily Mirror, and when he couldn't turn up, he used to phone me and say, James, will you run the class? So from then on, I've always think this is what I want to do. Mm-hmm. I've always wanted to work with young people, and I always want to put something back. And this is why I challenge every champion, whoever they are, if they do something. You don't have to be sport or boxing, no matter what they do. If they've done something in the area, go back and put something. Mm-hmm. So I've always wanted to do it. And as for the MBE, to be quite honest, me coming from Peckham, running around the playground saying the Queen would never meet me as a black man. This is me as a youth growing up. And so when it did come in the post, I thought somebody was joking, so I put it in the bin.
You did it?
Yeah, I did. I put the letter inside the bin. I thought somebody had been a laugh because it was my servant something, and I thought, wrong person. And it's only when Colin Hart phoned me up from the Sun and the boxing board phoned me up, and then my brother went and checked out, went back in the bin and found the letter again. So, yeah.
I mean, that's quite a story. But how did it make you feel to have your hard work recognised through the MBE?
To be honest, it's like I said, from the background where I come from, like everybody else, living in a house off the street, to be recognized, it felt sort of good, because like I said, when I was running around, you think, you never meet the Queen, or nothing like that, again, I'm too, but when I meet the Queen, barring from my mom, the only person that made me nervous and sweat was the Queen. Otherwise, nobody made me nervous and sweat, But yeah, she really made me sweat, because she's asked me a question. I said, please, Mom, don't ask me no more, because I was dripping off in sweat, So yeah, that's the only lady I could say made me nervous, barring from Mom.
Apart from your mom, yeah.
And you, the other night.
Well, yeah, didn't want to make you nervous at all. So why is it that, why is it that young people are so important to you? Is it that you see them as kind of being the future and they need that sort of impact?
No, that definitely is the future. People, when you grow up, people always say the next generation, The thing what I enjoy about my parents, they're always saying to me, when it's not you, it's the next generation. When we're not here, it's you. And so I grew up with that. When I'm not here, it's going to be my kids. When it's my kids, it's going to be their grandkids. So yeah, if people is saying, from my grow up, people saying, we're the next generation. If you don't look after the next generation, then of course we're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
So it's always been in me to say, listen, I come off a house in the state or a house in Peckham somewhere, not Peckham Estate or whatever, and I can achieve that. So if I cannot do it, you can do it as well.
Absolutely.
I know what work it is to take to reach there, you know what I mean? So I can do it. I remember, probably when my name was in the paper, just messing about in the gym in Campbell Green, and I think I went to every shop in South London by the South London Press. I think I was skint. But it's something that I feel it's very important for young people to say, if somebody's across the road there, they do it. Yeah, it can be done. Go back in there and show them. It may be hard or whatever, but if you can do it, you may be able to guide them. And I think if people do that, we wouldn't have the problems we have now.
Yeah, it's about teaching, isn't it?
No,
It's giving people the knowledge. Absolutely.
And people are always saying, they're the next generation. This is our future. So why not look after our future?
Absolutely. So how do you kind of measure the impact of your work, or what makes you feel that you've had like a success when it comes to a particular young person?
To be honest, probably on the street, when they see me, probably their parents or somebody stop me, and mention it to me. There's a young man probably a couple of years ago at Tomington Station, he says, do you remember me? So I said, run me through. And he was running me through. He was fighting inside the playground. And I stopped him and I tell him to focus now. He's playing in Scotland, at the high-level footballer.
Wow.
Things like that, There's a young lady, funny enough, she was getting up the road and she was smoking. And when she was smoking, she put the cigarette behind her back. And I said, why are you smoking? And she looked at me and said, James, I'm 25 now. So I said, oh. So it's that respect. They're around the area still. And they see me, they won't come near me with if they're smoking or something. They still have that respect. So I think from there on, this is why I'm saying to people, you've got to be honest. You've got to be honest with young people. Because if you ain't, by the time they reach 5 or 10, you didn't tell them, but. People know me, I'm straightforward, I'll tell them as it is from day one. So when they reach 1 or 2 years down the line or 3 weeks, they know that is wrong, don't do it. Even if you have to repeat it, you tell them as it is, not when tell them something else. So when they reach there, they say, hey, you didn't tell me.
Yeah.
So they know me, like I told them I'd sell them out for 25 pence. So I tell the young people, I said, I just sell you out. So you give me 25 pence, I sell you out. So it's as simple as
straight
that.
talker.
Yeah, so they know,
No, I hear that. Obviously Pedro Youth Club does a lot of different things. There's a little social area, there's a little spot outside where people can play ball games, etc. Obviously we're in the boxing part of it. What skills do you think boxing teaches young people to face their challenges? You
know what? It teaches them the respect, the manners, the attitude, and the aggression. What I find out and what I look at young people when they're out there, if they go to the shop, I said to people, if I'm a shopkeeper, I probably don't make no money. Because people just go in the shop, they point to this, they give me that. But there's no hello, no excuse me, no sorry, no please.
Yeah.
No respect. No respect at all. So through the boxing, you've got to learn that respect. You've got to learn manners. You've got to learn the attitude. You have to learn. That's right. You've got to learn to control that. So boxing to me is probably one of the greatest tools inside the world. Because to be quite honest, when I was growing up and around Red and National Front, Skinner, Teddy Boy, everything. When I was the age of 30, I was driving in Campbell Green, and me and a bloke was driving together. I got in the petrol station, he got in the petrol station, and he turned around to me and he says, you black bastard. And I look at him and I said, mate, I'm 30 years of age. If I don't know I'm black, something is wrong. It's just the boxing taught me, I could cope with this. Ain't a problem. So
not to overreact.
That's right. So I think once you go into boxing, you learn all this respect. Because boxing, it's not a color thing. Everybody's in there, white, black, pink, blue, whoever you are, you're inside the boxing. Everybody show respect. Everybody show manners. Everybody have this attitude where they look and respect you. So it's a great tool, probably one of the greatest in the world. And why is probably the greatest in the world? Other footballers, rugby players, they might argue, but they're the one who do boxing. you know, for their fitness or something. They're the one who bring boxing in.
Yeah.
I mean, I trained surf cricketers for a few years, and I'm saying to people, Alex Stewart was the fittest out of these guys. That's why he lost longer.
Yeah.
You know, because he was so fit. Some of the guys them don't do it. You know, what I'm saying to them, believe it, being a boxing man to myself, if you ain't fit, you know, and you know, life becomes rough. And you know, where people like it this now, we eat so much different kind of food and drink these days, so you need to put something back in your body. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's why boxing to me is a great tool. By the way, I run for a bus the other day. I thought, damn, I was struggling. I used to run now today. I went up to my missus and I said, damn, I was struggling for the bus. You know what? Yeah.
So how did you get into boxing yourself?
Boxing, you know what, is a mate of mine who was in Peckham, and we was messing around, and through going to school I was always saying I'm Muhammad Ali, because believe me, he's my hero. I said people, I divorced my wife just to go out see this man. I had to spend a day with this man, you know. This is my hero. And in the playground I used to be punching people saying, I'm Muhammad Ali, you're Joe Fraser, you know. And then I remember on the stairs when we used to live in Peckham, you know, I said to Dad, look at me coming down the stairs, and I said to Dad, I can't believe it, Muhammad Ali lost. And my dad, as a black parent, kiss his teeth, walk away, turn around and looked at me and says, we got to lose sometime. And I stand up for the split second, I stand up to sort of jump on my dad. And I thought, damn, it's my dad, and I sit back down. You know, yeah, so this is what I used to say. So even when my mate, Rupert, took me down to the gym because I was closing the gym, I used to be hitting the bag, dancing around, think I'm Muhammad Ali. Never fight like him and dance like him, but you know, this was my era because he make everybody laugh. Nobody never really get vexed with Muhammad Ali more than the fighters. Them wishes as a fighter, this is what you do. You try and get the edge on your opponent, and he used to do it so beautiful. I mean, the fighters them now they want to kill you for real. You don't really say nothing because they really want to kill you. They're out there, but you know, boxing ain't really like that. I mean, it's about trying to get advantage. That's why when you see fighters go to the weigh-in, they probably try and stand up just to try and get a bit of height or something.
So someone out.
That's right. So if you can do it and you do it the rightful way, it's brilliant. Prince Nasinami, as you say, we went to see the other night. He done it beautiful. He used to do all this flip over the rope and the dancing and things, and he used to hit you and dance. I mean,
quite a character.
That's right, you know, and people used to get confused from that. So if you can get any advantage, you know, from boxing and you got the confidence to do it, I just feel it's brilliant, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's so psychological.
No, absolutely. So yeah, you know, boxing is a great tool. Like I say, without boxing, you know, I don't know. Yeah, well, I know what I'll probably be doing plastering or something, because I remember my dad, you know, took me out when he used to plaster, and he mixed I had to mix up some cement from him. I went in one of these blocks, you know, and there was no window and it was cold, you know, and I thought, damn, I don't ever want to do this.
Not what you want to be in the winter.
You know, so, you know, it was only me saying, you know what, I want to be like Muhammad Ali. I remember in Peckham when he first came to the Old Kent Road to with Henry Cooper, I took the afternoon out of school. Yeah, I mean, I got beat for it with my mom, yes, of course. Yeah, I mean, but you know, I had to, you know, 4 hours I started queuing up along the Old Kent Road to see this man. So yeah.
Things you do for your heroes, right?
Trust me, absolutely. You know.
Yeah. So, at what point did you think, you know, with boxing that you wanted to go all the way?
To be honest, when I first went pro, I've got beat, to be honest, by that guy up there. I don't know if you see him up there, named Johnny Graham. I got beat twice in the London final by Johnny Graham, you know. And my trainer come to me and he says to me, if you're gonna get beat, you might as well pay for it. And I didn't realize you can get paid. Or do you get paid?
Oh, this is when you were amateur?
Yeah. Or do you get paid? So he says to me, so anyway, I turned pro now, obvious. And I've said to myself, whenever, just win any title, a souvenir title as a professional, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you look in the rating, you fought anybody at the 50, you know, they could beat you. I mean, you know, they was that bloody good, you know what I mean? And I thought, just win a souvenir, I'll be happy. And I won the souvenir, and I was defending it at somewhere in Birmingham. And I was defending it against a guy named Tony Burke, actually from Croydon. And Burke was a big, muscly guy, you know what I mean? And I thought, yeah, that must ain't get the loss, you know what I mean? And this is probably the first time that I ever get flash in a boxing where I start to hit him and he start to rock all over the place. So good. Going back to the changing room, I don't know if a referee named Harry Gibbs. Harry Gibbs was one of the greatest referees we had over here, you know? And Harry Gibbs followed me back to the corner and he says, Cook, keep your hand up, this boy could punch. And I thought, yeah, okay. So I went back out, I hit him again and I rocked him. And I got to hit him, and he must have hit me with a right hand. and I fall straight down in the middle of the ring.
No.
Yeah, I did. And Harry Gibbs looked at me, instead of he saying counting, you know, he looked over me, he said, Cook, I told you so. You know, and I got up with the biggest headache in my life back in the change room, and I think, I kind of like Harry Gibbs, you know. And, you know, so I got up, you know, and I carry on. You know, it was crazy because, again, you know, I got into a final eliminator with Jimmy Price, you know. Once again, you know what I mean, was doing well. Jimmy Price got me with a left hand, I think it was. Fell down, got counted out. I wake up, got to my change room, change off my clothes, jump in my car, and I'm driving up West End. You know what I mean? Driving up West End, and then my car ran out of petrol. And I got out the car and I'm walking, and this old bloke come, he tapped me on the shoulder, and he said to me, Cook, if you can't take winning and losing in this game, you shouldn't do it. You know, trust me, whoever that guy is, that guy has guided me to where I am now. You know what I mean? Because every time I lose a fight, I go back to the ring and I just work harder and harder.
Yeah.
And then the final eliminator come with myself and Michael Watson and Graham and somebody else, and everybody pulled out. And then I end up fighting Graham in Sheffield, which I was speaking to Naz about in 1988, you know. And he stopped me in 6th round, and I thought to myself, any British fighter beat me again, I will retire, because this is the #1 in the world. You know what I mean? And I did, actually, you know. And then, you know, so when I fight for the British title, I thought that was good enough for me, you know. But then I was seeing who was around me winning world title, I thought, and then I had to go to France to fight for the European. And then when I looked through the record of this guy, I thought, damn, I'm gonna get killed, because it's like 14 knockout, you know, so much winning points and only 2 loss. And I thought, Mama just set me up to get killed, you know what I mean? But I went to France anyway. And then funny enough, you know, sometimes it's just, you know, sometimes when people don't believe in God, there's a man of it. Because the first thing you do as a black person, the first thing we do when things happen, we say, oh my God, you know. And I was sitting down inside the hotel in France, and this guy come to me and he said, don't eat the food. So I got up and I went to a little back street, and I had my food, and my trainer and my manager had the runs all day. You know what I mean? Because
they ate the food.
They ate the food, yeah. So it was sort of set up. So at the night we went to France and beat Frank Perry Wittgenstein, who was some big puncher, and I stopped him in the last round, you know. And walking around now, you have to give a blood test, you know.
Yeah.
So walking around now, got in cold shower, you know, trying to, you know what I mean, want to give these urine after going, you know, almost 12 rounds, you know what I mean. And so this gypsy come around by me, and the guy said to me, and he had a lot of people around him, and he said to me, Cook, can I have your shirt? I said, hell no. I just had this shirt made, you know, from Title Sport, pretty black shirt with a little split. I said, no, I just had it made. The guy whispered in my ear, he said, you better give him your shirt, mate. He's the king of the gypsy. So I took out the shirt and signed it, and I gave it to him, and I said, here, mate, you can have it. You know, so yeah, so winning the European was, it was a high level for me. And then, you know, like I said, when Graham beat me, I thought to myself, any British fighter beat me, you know, I had a problem. And sort of, after being the first man to sort of beat Michael Watson, I just couldn't get a chance. I've got a picture calling Ben Eubanks biting chicken, calling them a chicken. Because it was great. I never knew there was bloody plastic chicken. I went to the press conference, and the guy said to me, lift up the chicken. And I looked at this chicken, I thought, hell no, I'm not lifting up no raw chicken and put it in my mouth. He said, no, lift up the chicken and call him a chicken. I said, no, I'm not lifting up the chicken. The chicken is raw, I'm not lifting it up. The guy started to laugh, you know. And then he picked it up and he bent the chicken, you know. He said, it's plastic. So I thought, okay, so I got a plastic chicken, biting the chicken, calling Eubanks some being a chicken, you know. And I was on the biting it. So, you know, so yeah, it's just me trying to get a world title fight. The fact that I was WBA world #1, you understand me? And this new WBO title come out. But I've got, you know, sometimes being a manager, you've got to make good deal for your fighters, good managers. And Ambrose Manny said to me, look, I'd never make you fight Ben, because after beating Watson beat Ben, you know. So yeah, you know what I mean? So I never like that, but I hold no grudge sometimes.
What would you say your proudest moment was in the ring? Was it winning the European title?
No, to be honest, I think it was probably winning the British. You know, is once again going to Belfast, you know, experience, you know. And I think what made me tough was the fight them I had abroad and lose them. You know what I mean, whether I got knocked out or beat or, you know, points, it was these fights sort of tough me, you know.
Yeah.
So going to Belfast was no problem. Actually, we went to Belfast and fighting Sammy Story, and the bloke says, we're staying in the Europa Hotel. The Europa Hotel is the most bomb hotel in Highland. And in the middle of the night, somebody said, mate, you better get up. There was Suntex bomb, you know. So everybody, they chuck everybody out the hotel. And when you land in the 90s, they're following you with a gun like that, you know. So I like running, you know, because I used to run from Peckham to Hackney, 10 miles, I run back. You know? So I love running. And I got up one morning, I was staying in a place named Bangor. And I got up one morning and I got running. The lady said to me, where did you go? I said, I went running. She looked at me and said, you're English, you're black, you went running. So the next morning we wake up for breakfast. She said to me, cook, you going running? I said,
Not ready to take that chance again.
So, you know, going to Belfast, winning the British title was probably my proudest moment, to be quite honest. Because, you know, because nobody at that time, you know, nobody really gave me a chance again to do anything, you know what I mean? So yeah, Sapping Summit story was probably the proudest moment for me. And when I was at the airport, you know, and two big guys coming to me, and I'm a guy who fight anybody. I fight bouncer for fun if it comes to me. When I was at the airport, there was these two big massive guys coming towards me, and I thought, oh my God. And they looked at me and they says, we saw the boxing last night, well done. And they give me the most biggest bottle of Irish whiskey to bring over. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because I thought it was going to be trouble, but yeah, they love their sport.
That's amazing.
So I think, my proudest moment was winning the British title. And then after that was, obviously, the second proudest was European. But I'll be honest, I think my proudest moment in life is having my first daughter, Lisa, you know, because I'll be quite honest, I think I was trying to make babies early, you know, because I wanted a baby. I'm a man now, you know, I'm working, I wanted my own child. So when Lisa was born, she was, but my greatest moment in the sport was winning the British.
Nice.
You know?
And what do you think was the most challenging part of being a boxer?
You know, being selfish, you know, the most challenging part for me is sort of being selfish. I do get miserable like everybody else, you know. I'm spending 6 week or 4 week training and everything is all right coming to the last 3 weeks, you know, where you have to get selfish, you have to sort of, you know, ignore everybody, you know what I mean, and ignore people and just trying to focus on the fight. So I think that's part about it. But you know, the joy about it, I've always have time for people, and that's why I said to everybody, make sure you can be able to go back in the area where you come from. People will see me on TV and the radio and blah blah, and they're still waving and say hello. Make no difference to me. I mean, I'm still the same man here. Yeah. So I think the challenging part of it, of life, or being a fighter, is certain time in your life, you know, I don't think people even understand. You've got to be selfish, you know, you got to start to lock yourself away. I mean, I never bloody go too far when they said a training camp. My training camp was from here to Elephant Castle, down my auntie. You know what I mean? And that's the furthest I wanted to go because I didn't really want to go too far from my kids, them, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's still, you know, you have to be selfish at a certain part in your life. And certain part in my life, I've got to respect my missus because you get miserable, you get touchy, you know, and everything, you know, even if it look right, you yourself probably say it's wrong, you know what I mean? That is because you've done all the hard work and you're tired, and you know, so yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I think that's the most selfish part of the sport.
That's really interesting. A lot of boxers would say, like, you know, making weight or this or that,
no,
but it's nice to get,
you know, I must admit the joy about it. I did not have a problem.
Yeah.
You know, I think as a fighter, if you train well and look after your body, you shouldn't be a couple of pounds over your weight. You know? And I never had that problem.
If you're fighting in the right
that's
weight
right,
division,
you know. And the joy about it, for me, when they said the super middleweight, I weighed in with my bloody tracksuit on. You know what I mean? You know, so I didn't have no problem. You know what I mean? People retire now and they, you know, and I'm looking at them and I'm thought, damn, why you get so big? You know what I mean? It's massive. I mean, but I suppose,
true, they do, don't
they? Yeah, I mean, I think I've still got the discipline of, if I have a breakfast in the morning, I probably won't eat again till something in night, and even I still got the discipline of the way I used to train. You know, it's not everything I put in my mouth. You know what I mean? And you know, your stomach can take so much. You know what I mean? So I can't,
especially if you're used to like a certain lifestyle. If you go suddenly the other way,
absolutely,
all that's going to happen is you're going to blow up.
Absolutely. You know? I mean, so yeah, I mean, Napa was in here last night, and I said, "Why you're about 18 stone?" I mean, you know, look at Napa used to fight at bantamweight. You know what I mean? So I said, we'll have to stop feeding you. You know what I mean? So we make some sandwich out there. We told the lady not to give him none. I mean, so,
it's discipline that
yeah, absolutely. You know?
What advice would you give to obviously amateur boxers who train out of Pedro's or any other amateur boxers, or even to you know, pro boxers who are new to the sport and they're coming up in the game?
Yeah, the point is, it's very hard. First of all, the only thing I'm going to defend managers now, yeah? Sometime in life, managers have to make a choice to give, you know, for the fighter to have a break, I think. But I think any advice is to be around people you can be comfortable with. You know, you respect, you trust. You know, managers, you know, got to realize that they've got to be honest to fighters. If they're honest to fighters, you know, fighters, you know, will stay with them. But if they're not honest, I mean, you know, that's what's gonna happen. Fighters gonna go on. I'm just saying, being honest, you know, being honest and work really hard. You know what I mean? Because sometimes your chance come when you don't know. You know what I mean? You know, Robinson from Wales, you know, become world champion because he trains all the time and the fight comes. So if you're in this sport, you just gotta carry on working on it. Listen, boxing ain't like footballers. You know what I mean? You know, my brother, three son, they play football at good levels, you know, and they come down here and had about 15 boys, and when they finished, they was giving them money. You know what I mean? I thought to myself, oh, I'm your uncle, but I never get a penny out to you, but he's giving away money. But boxers, the difference with boxers, we don't get paid every week or that's £60, because even if you pay £60 a week, at the end of the week, it's a lot of money. But fighters don't got, at the end of the week, that £250, that's what a fighter may be training for 3 months, 4 months to get. You know, so now I've said, you know, to be honest, I am upset now being a professional fighter. I've been in the game all my life and I'm not going to change it, but I think promoters, is your job to promote. I don't think fighters should be running around
trying to sell tickets
the way they're selling now. I said to people, I've got paid for every fight I had, even if I got robbed. Frankly, I got paid and sell no ticket. I think I sell about 4 tickets one time, and the promoter looked at me and was going crazy. So I give the ticket to my manager to give back to him. So, your ticket, yeah, but I didn't have to sell no ticket. Fight was made, and I don't think it's right that then fighters got to be running around trying to sell tickets, because I've been boxing training is hard enough.
Exactly, you've got the pressure of training for your fight, you've got the psychological pressure of trying to get in the ring and like beat someone up.
Absolutely.
And then on top of that, you suddenly got to make your bread and butter by selling tickets.
Absolutely, you know, it's the most annoying thing, you know, when this thing now that you're paying for your opponent, then you're going to pay the house, then whatever left, you know what I mean? You can't go home and tell your family, I'm a professional fighter, but I'm going to make £20 tonight because after selling everything, I just think it's out of order.
I mean, it is. I've heard stories about professional boxers who've even paid to fight, so they've ended up taking a financial hit.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've got a couple of guys down here, you know, and, you know, I like, listen, if somebody said to me, James, train me to beat Mike Tyson, I'd rather train you to beat Mike Tyson. But you come and tell me that you're fighting Mike Tyson and nothing out of it. You know, it wouldn't make sense. You know, to me, as a sport person, this is professional boxing. That's why you use professional boxing. You're not amateur. I mean, you go home and you're supposed to put something on the table. I mean, you're supposed to say to your family, you can't be paying to get beat up yourself and pay the promoters.
It's hard enough for the family, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. So that bit there, they're still working out, and I just hope that they change it, to be quite honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Who would you say is your favourite active boxer currently on the scene?
Favorite acting boxer currently on the scene now, you know, if I want anybody to watch this man and watch his discipline and the way he speaks to people, and he have time for people at the end of fight, touching people before fight, I gotta say it's Anthony Joshua. You know, simple reason why, because some people, you know, people think because we're in this sport we cannot speak to them or they touch them and we touch them, but you pay your money to come and see us. I think you must have time for everybody. I mean, Anthony Joshua so far proved to me that he's got time for people.
He's a good role model.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's a good people person.
No, definitely,
you know, he makes time.
definitely. Although you keep telling me he's coming up Peggy and he hasn't reached yet, but you know, I'll curse him when I see him. You know, I like to do things like that, you know.
And who would you say is your favourite female boxer?
Well, you know, the other night I was watching the American lady, Clarissa Shields.
Yeah.
I must admit, I like her, but my favorite female boxer is the young lady from Ireland. Speak to me.
Katie Taylor.
Katie Taylor. Yeah. I think Katie Taylor is so good. I looked at her and I said to some of my fighters, she moves better than you. Yeah, you know, she's got everything sort of right, balance.
She's a class act.
Yeah, she is. She thinks well, she punch well, and sometimes boxing is about thinking. People don't realize, you know, you got to think you certain holding and certain movement. I just feel she's good. So I'd say at the moment, Katie Taylor, then
Clarissa Shields after
Yeah,
that.
after
Yeah.
that,
Yeah, they're fantastic boxers. They
you
really
know what I
are.
mean?
So it'd be really good to get your opinion. Obviously, we've got the Fury Wilder fight coming up this weekend. What do you think about that fight?
Again, there's enough time for Tyson Fury to prepare himself. You know, I think him losing the weight was probably too quick. Him having 2 fights early wasn't really testing. I think, you know, he's clever, he's good enough, he's a good mover, but they're both 6'9", and Deontay Wilder, the thing is why he's so wild, because he take no prisoner. He's going out there to take you out, because in his head, I've got to support my daughter. You know what I mean? And in Tyson Fury, I'm not really a millionaire, you understand what I'm saying? But not saying he can't do it, but I just feel Wilder at the moment is a bit hot.
Yeah.
So I'd say Wilder halfway.
I'm inclined to agree with you, but it does also depend on, you know, who turns up on the night in terms of Tyson Fury.
No, you're totally right, but like I said, I don't think he's going to turn up, because I don't think he's got enough time to prepare himself on the fact that he's fighting somebody same height, ain't as big as him, ain't as afraid of him. And the point is, people don't understand. If they ever look at the way Deontay Wilder he punched sort of clubbing.
Yeah, it's kind of this out of space.
That's right,
like,
that's right. Now, if this man was punching correctly, this one would cause more damage than the foot. So, you know, people don't understand. He start off 50, but when it lands is 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think he will shake up and he will hit Fury, because I don't think Fury have enough time to prepare himself. But I think it's a win-win situation for Fury, win or lose, because Anthony Joshua hasn't got an opponent in April, and so that date is free. So but definitely on form, going to be Wilder halfway.
Yeah, well, we're all looking forward to that.
What do you say?
I think Wilder as well, but I don't know. It's a tricky one, because obviously Fury does move so well, and if he has managed to, you know, get everything together for this fight, I think he's in for a good chance. But I'm inclined to lean towards Wilder. I'm inclined to do that, but we'll see on Saturday, I guess.
All right, so that means I'll cut down on the train. I was going to give you that. You agree with me.
James, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us and inviting us to Pedro's Youth Club. It's been such a pleasure.
Thank you very much for a good job I did push in front of her. Well, not interviewing happen.
Absolutely.